Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Sigma Prepper live show. The live show for preppers. Oh dear, a couple of minutes getting rocking before we got going tonight. So hope everyone's well and everything should be all good in the hood as of now. So there's one thing that I definitely haven't done, but I'll get to that when we're doing the bit that I haven't done yet. But yeah, thank you very much for being with me, everyone. I do hope you've had a fabulous week. Just getting a few little things tidied up, really. So welcome everybody in the house. It looks like we've got a pretty rammed out pack sesh already. The pack is here. Where do I even start? Extreme Focus, says Shanna Hyde in the house. I've got to say a big shout out to Carolyn Rose, who was the first in the chat tonight. Well done, Carolyn. Absolute commitment. And Set Girl, 304 subs. Yes, we're growing all right. We are more than 10%. Sorry, what am I talking about? We're more than 25% of the way there to monetization here on YouTube. 250 subscribers would be the 25% mark. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I think we're on about 1,100 hours of watch time and about 300 subscribers. So thank you everybody who has subscribed and has hit the like button over the times to help things do well and shared the videos. Couldn't have done it without you, so thank you so very much for helping the channel to grow, and couldn't do it without you. There's Sandy in the house, great to see you. Extreme Focus, we got Cynthia as well. Hello my absolute darling. Did someone say pizza? Yes, it was Extreme Focus getting his pizza in the oven, ready for his Sigma Prepper live prepper show fest tonight. And who else we got here? We got Pedigree Mongrel, great to see you. Smashed out an even contract so I could watch a bit of the show. Lovely to see you. Eva as well, great to see you, Eva. Who else we got in there? Ghost Cowboy. Thank you, Ghost Cowboy. We had some Preppers Progress from Ghost Cowboy and from Extreme Focus. Had some more Preppers Progress. So thank you for sending in Preppers Progress. We've got that coming up later on. We've got quotes as well. Thank you to Perps. Daily Survival. Extreme Focus. I couldn't use one of your quotes. Extreme Focus, your quotes are like really long and they're... So that's the only reason why you haven't seen me use the last couple, because they're way long at Extreme Focus. But thank you for sending them in, because they're great quotes. Sandy, send in a quote. I've got one for you, and Mrs. Sigma Prepper, Magic Hand has got one for you as well tonight. So we've got great quotes tonight. We've got the Preppers Progress, and for those that are new here, of course, on the live show for preppers, we're starting off with a welcome, the intro, saying hello to everybody, welcome them in. Hope you've had a great week. We got the Sigma Mindset Quotes, what we just talked about. So you can send your quotes in, your favorite quotes. Sigma Mindset, all about self-development, self-reliance, and being a prepper, obviously. And then we've got SHTF Intel report coming up straight after that, and we'll be hearing from Tia, and we'll be looking over what's been hitting the fan around the world, which is an awful lot. We'll try not to make it a 45-minute affair for the SHTF Intel, but lots going on. We'll gloss over some stuff, and we'll highlight a few of the key areas we want to talk about. And then we'll get straight into the Sigma Prepper quiz, and we'll see who we've got rocking this week for the winner. And we still haven't had a 7 out of 7 ultimate win for the Sigma Prepper quiz, the survival trivia. So we've got another 7 multiple choice questions coming up for you after this SHTF Intel report, so don't miss that. And I'd love to see a 7 out of 7 tonight, but we'll see how you get on. And then we've got obviously the Preppers Progress straight after that. We might have a bit of time for Howls and Growls as well. We'll say hello to Hugo. He'll come and say hello to us, Hugo Bear, and we'll have a little look at some Q&A and AMA type stuff towards the end. And then we got the end, but it's not the end because we're going off to our VIP after party. The what? That's right, the VIP after party for our Patreon VIPs on Discord. It's completely and utterly free to get yourself over to Discord. It's entirely free and open. However, on a Thursday after the Sigma Prepper live show, we like to have an after party over on the Discord server where we get to talk about all sorts of interesting and exciting topics. Namely, anything that's going on. So this is the Discord server. The links are in the description below, so get yourself signed up to it. We've had a few people sign up this week, which is great. Pedigree Mongrel, welcome to the Discord server. Welcome to Barton now, and welcome to Shanna Hyde as well. And great to see you join the server. And yeah, loads of different categories. Animal lovers, it's all going on. We've got self-promotion as well. Some of these haven't even got anything in yet. But the text chat, we've got all the business down here at the Prepping Intel. So you've got things like water storage, filtration, people sharing information, food storage, all sorts going on here. Look, I like that design. Look at the stairs coming out with drawers. I haven't even checked through in the last few days. I've been absolutely strung out cooking tips. Look at it, it's all going on in here. So if you want some awesome prepping tips, then off-grid power, I'm going to start adding some stuff into there. So if you've got some stuff that you'd like to share with the crew and share with the pack, then we'd really like get yourself over onto the Discord server, completely free. But in the after party, what we do is we do a live chat for the VIP patrons as a, something we get to do to get together. So thank you so very much to those that are keeping us running. Absolutely couldn't do it without you, because I am 100% independent. No sponsors, no networks, no monetization even, or anything, no affiliate links even. So it's just you, me, and the information that we like to talk about and share. So these are the ways you can help and keep me alive. This is all I'm doing, is my full-time job. So thank you very much for everyone who's helping me stay online. And Patreon is a great way to help. You get free gifts and things, mugs, stickers, and obviously the after parties on Discord as well, from as little as 20 cents a day. 20 cents a day. Can you afford not to be a part of the crew? These people couldn't afford not to be part of the crew, so thank you so very much for being a VIP. No matter what scale, size you are, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And yeah, this is what makes us the family that we are, and we get to talk about all the stuff we get to talk about in the after parties, behind the scenes videos, free gifts, everything. All links are in the description if you'd like to find a way to help. If you can't do anything any of these ways here, then just hitting the like button and sharing my videos with your social media is a great way to help, if nothing else, and add your comments into the videos. Build up the watch time, that's what it's all about. So thank you so much. What can I say? What a week. Thank you everyone who's keeping us alive. And it's getting pretty tricky this end, I've got to say, but we are pushing through. Perp's in the house. What's up, fam? Great to see you. She's eagerly anticipating Halloween. She's getting her decorations rocking. I was going to have a go at doing a Sigma Prepper wolf themed pumpkin this year, but we'll see if I get time to rock something out. I've got things like spoon carving, knives, and all the rest of it, so it'd be a bit rude not to give it a go this year. Animal Rescue, absolutely wonderful to have you with us tonight. Animal Rescue, I hope everyone's making you feel super, super welcome in the chat. There's my darling Debbie, look, she's here. Great to see you. I hope things are going well with you, because she's recently just started a new job at the veterinary clinic, so she's having fun doing all veterinary stuff. So what I think we should do, so we're in I forgot to introduce this week's location. We are in the fairy, it's not a fairy forest, it's the magic forest is what it is. We're in the magic forest tonight. So, all done by his little old self. What's all done by his little old self? Don't know. Don't know what we're doing. Please adopt an animal to where you are. Too many being given up due to economy. I'll tell you what, our Animal Rescue, you should get yourself over onto the Discord server and you should share some of your animal stuff, because I noticed we haven't got enough animal lover stuff here. Look, Ansett Girl's got it started off with her little darling. I'll have to get some Hugo images in there. But get yourself over to the Discord server and start sharing some of your stuff. I'm sure you've got loads of information to add. Our Animal Rescue, thank you so much for being with us. So, should we get into it there, and then drama all the time at vets plus kittens? Who wouldn't want to be surrounded by kittens all day, every day, eh? Right, should we get into it then with the quotes, and then we'll get into SHTF Intel, and we'll start banging through, and we'll see where we end up. Let's do it. Sigma Prepper quotes, Sigma mindset. That's what it's all about. Cheers, everybody. Right. Yes, indeed, my darling daily survival. The magic forest. Although now we're floating in the clouds, because we are now in Sigma Mindset Quotes. Thank you so much for sending in your quotes tonight. Are you a Sigma type? Doesn't matter. You're either a Sigma or a Prepper. You're welcome here either way. Sigma personalities as opposed to alpha or beta type personalities. Sigmas aren't like alphas. They don't like running around, ruling the world and trying to boss everyone around. Equally, we're not betas. We don't like being pushed around and told what to do. Sigma's somewhere in the middle where we kind of like to do our own thing and like to be, all about personal development, self-development, self-reliance, and being self-sustainable and things like this, right? That's what it's all about. So if you feel you've got some quotes that you would like to fit into that category, that's what we do on this segment. First quote's coming in from Daily Survival, one of our VIP, Patreon VIPs. Thank you so much for supporting the show the way you do, Daily Survival. Really, really appreciate it. So she sent a great one in here. My strength lies solely in my tenacity. My strength lies solely in my tenacity. Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur. So yeah, I really identify with that one because, you know, it's a little bit like that Einstein quote. He's doing it again. Every week we do Sigma Mindset Quotes and everyone sends their quotes in. And for every quote, I'm like, it reminds me of this quote. And I'll give you another quote. Oh well, maybe you get double whammy quotes. So my strength lies, yes, it's like the Einstein quote. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stick with problems for longer. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems for longer. Something along those lines. So yeah, I like that one. And I totally agree, because some of the things that I, as a prototyping engineer and stuff like that, a lot of the things that you engineer, you know, you've had to make maybe 8 or 9, 10 prototypes. Each one's taken you many days, and lots of failure. And to have to keep going, I spent many years in direct sales and things and sales consultancy, which again, it's a lot of no's, a lot of kickbacks, and you have to keep getting up and pushing through. So yeah, it does definitely strengthen the tenacity, and I do believe that is a strength. So thank you so much, Daily Survival. Brilliant quote, really like it. Right, Perps is just an absolute master at sending in quotes. Thank you so much, Perps. She sent another couple in this week to quotes@sigmaprepper.com. Links to the email addresses in the description of this video as well. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something sometime in your life. Absolutely. Winston Churchill. You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something sometime in your life. Do I have any enemies? Dunno. Some people may call me their enemy, but I don't have any enemies personally. I think life's too short to have enemies. And I find ways to love the unlovable. When you move to a certain vibration level, let's just say, you realise that, you know, it's just molecular energy and vibration, and there's not really, you know, words are just vibrations in the air, right? I mean, everything that makes you upset happens between the sound waves hitting your eardrum and that signal being sent to your brain in terms of its understanding, comprehension, and so yeah, and like it. Thank you very much, Perps, my purple flurple. Love you, my darling. And don't forget, you might see that, I think, is everybody here so far VIP? You don't have to be a Patreon VIP supporter to to send in quotes. It's open to everybody, right? Sandy, great one from Sandy this week. Thank you so much, my darling. Silence in the face of evil is evil itself. Sorry. Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. Do you know, I was just about to say, it reminds me of this quote, but it does. It reminds me of this quote, which is about the fact that the only thing that bad men need to do bad things is for good men to do nothing. Let me know if you know who that quote's from, but that's a classic one similar to this, yeah? All that's needed for evil to take place is for good men to do nothing. It's something like that. So thank you, Sandy, because this is brilliant. I think this is really insightful. Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. See, do you know what's interesting is that Sandy and I have had actually quite a few conversations over the several weeks, because she's had a similar issue to me in terms of with family members when you're trying to talk to them about stuff, yeah? And it's very challenging, yeah, it's very challenging when these, you know, your family members are so, I hate to use the term asleep, but basically, yeah. And you try and get into these conversations and you feel like you have these battles, and Sandy and I talk about it, where it's like, there comes a point in time where sometimes you're trying to speak and you're just being made to look like a fool all the time, or they try to make it like that, or you're crazy, or some tinfoil hat and things like this. Conspiracy theorists, these sorts of things. But then you think to yourself, if you don't say anything, then are you guilty of this? Yeah? This is the problem, right? So, it's really tricky. So, Magic Hand, got a quote from Magic Hand this week. This is a good one. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. It's not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. George Barnard Shaw. So this is a good one, because I truly believe that people are, can be capable of all sorts of wonderful things, self-belief, and just going at it. And I don't agree with all this. So, if you believe in something, it will happen. No, it takes more just believing in something. You have to work towards excellence, but that's about creating that excellence in yourself. So thank you very much, Magic Hand. Likey. And the last one's from one. I can't remember which one I went for this time. Sigma Prepper from me. He who is unable to live in society, or who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. I thought this was interesting. I've always liked a lot of the Aristotle quotes, but there was something about this. This had me thinking for a good half hour on this one. It's quite an interesting one. Oh dear. Noelle Marie in the house. Great to see you, my darling. I was wondering if your beautiful name would pop up. Secret Prepper and family, I'm at work but listening. Great to hear you there, my darling. Great to see you all right. Churchill? Think so. Oh dear. Yeah, so this is an interesting one. This is basically preppers, isn't it? This is Sigmas. Yeah, Sigma personality in itself is it's not necessarily about. This is he who is unable to live in society, right? Because people who are into survival, preparedness, and particularly Sigma personality types, they just don't like to be part of the herd. Basically, they like to sort of be self-sufficient. But this is, and they actually operate. Sigmas typically are very popular people, and they operate very well in large societal groups. They just choose not to be. Yeah. And so what's interesting here, he who is unable to live in society, or who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. Do you know what? There's an awful lot of truth in that. Yeah. If you look at what sort of a survivalist would look like, who'd be able to survive completely independent of society, would be kind of beast-like. I've got to say. So, anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for sending in your quotes. I really appreciate everybody's quotes who sent them in. Purple Flurple, Daily Survival, Stream Focus, thank you for sending a quote. But like I say, they're all way too long, unfortunately, so I couldn't use them. Sandy, this is about nearly the maximum length. Yours works out at 3 times higher than that, if you know what I mean, just to give you a rough idea of word count. Sandy, thank you for sending them in the quote. A Magic Hand as well, really appreciate it. And of course, you can send in your quotes if you would like to. Quotes at sigmaprepper.com. Quotes at sigmaprepper.com. Super easy email address. Link is in the description if you want an easy way just to click on it. But thank you very much for sending your quotes. So let's get into it, shall we? Get us back to base camp, to the Magic Forest. Let's do it. Thank you again for sending your quotes. You can send them in too. Thank you so much, everyone. And cheers to my darlings. So, I hope you've all had a good week. I've been a little bit quiet this week, I must admit. That wasn't my intention. It was just the way it worked out in the end. But basically, yeah, I've been making a few changes. I've been working on some bits on the website as well, and getting a few other things done. So this week, I'm planning on changing the SHTF scenarios show. And so the idea being is what I would do is to, if I can find the actual file, what am I looking for? Promo. So the idea being is I'm going to be changing the SHTF scenarios show to maybe a Friday is the plan, right? So don't forget a weekly schedule. We've got the beginning of the week, usually Monday or Tuesday. We have the artificial intelligence tier report, global analysis report that comes out early in the week. For week 42 is out this week. Links in the description. We'll be hearing from her in a minute anyway with SHTF Intel. Usually on the Tuesday we have some kind of an SHTF Intel live, which didn't happen this week. And then the Wednesdays we would have the SHTF scenario show, prepping for 2022, where we discuss all sorts of important sort of. The last one we did was a grid down scenario, which took every day by day. It's well worth watching that. Link is in the description if you haven't seen it. Particularly what we got coming this winter with the grid down blackouts and everything they're all warning of, particularly in Europe and the UK. So this is strongly recommended. But what I'm going to be planning to do is to start with episode 3, maybe tomorrow, but it might be next Friday. But I'm going to go for a Friday slot is the plan. So let me know what you think of that in the chat and in the comments below. If you think Friday's a good time. And that'll just be going the same time, live 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time is the plan. And we'll be doing that on the Fridays instead of Wednesdays. So let me know what you think. And then, of course, on the Thursdays, we have the Sigma Prepper live show, as you're watching now. So that's the plan. That's what we'll be doing. I hope that's going to be okay for everybody. The next one we'll be doing is going to be... it's going to be security and defenses for homesteading. There's 2 versions. There's a bugging out security and defenses, and there's a homesteading security and defenses. So the one that we're going to do on the next one is going to be like security and defenses for homesteading, right? And we'll be looking at some strategic tactical things, and we'll be looking at like about 5 different phases of protection. Personal protection, perimeter protection, property protection, and so on, right? And we'll be breaking it down into, like I do in major detail, just like I did with the grid down scenario 1. So do check that one out. Do be subscribed to make sure you don't miss it. Make sure the bell notification is set to all, and you're less likely to miss a notification. So that's the plan. If I can get everything done, it's going to be another 30 slides worth of show. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to get the show prepared for tomorrow night. If I can, I will. If not, it will be next Friday, and I'll do some other videos between now and then to make up for it. Promise. Right, so should we get into it then? Because we are absolutely rocking through, and we're 25 minutes in. We got to get through so much. Yeah, it's not even funny. Yes, Saturday here then, says Carolyn Rose in Australia. That'll be Saturday morning for you. So Sigma Mindset, again, thank you for sending in your quotes. And now we're going to be getting into the SHTF Intel so we can see what's been hitting the fan around the world. And we're going to hear from Tia, and then I'll run you through the headlines and some other things that we're going to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that. So should we do it then and get into the SHTF Intel, and we're going to see what's been going on this week around the world, what's been hitting the fan for this week's SHTF Intel. Welcome to the SHTF Intel SHTF news type stuff going on around the world today for Sigma Prepper live show. This is, if you're watching this afterwards, this is a live cut from the Sigma Prepper live show on a Thursday, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, if you want to join us live. And so, yeah, we're going to be checking out the SHTF Intel today, what's been hitting the fan, take a look at what's going on around the world. Do ignore the numbers down the bottom here, because they're about a week old, by the way. That suddenly occurred to me when I was just about to go live tonight. I thought, that's interesting. I don't remember updating the commodities prices. So ignore the ticker tonight. But this is updated, so we'll be checking out Tia. We'll be hearing from a global analysis report. We'll be seeing what she's got to say, and I'll be breaking that down a little bit. And then we'll be getting into some energy wars, blackouts, look at the headlines, check out some earth changes, solar quakes and stuff like that, right? As we like to do. That's the plan. But don't forget, in the meantime, you can always head yourself over to sigmaprepper.com. When you get there, this will be what the homepage looks like. When SHTF don't end up around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. So do go and check the website out, and you'll see up here, SHTF Intel page. When you jump in here, this is what you'll get. And you'll always see the latest Tia report is always there for you to watch. And a link straight in there to the YouTube video so you can hit the like button and add a comment. And yeah, and it will give you the top 5 threats in order, as Tia mentions. And this is largely based on Tia's report. So the global threat analysis will give you the things most likely to hit the fan, or what's already hitting the fan. If it's more than 70%, it's already in play, basically, right? But the idea of this is so that we can look down at the bottom here and just ignore anything that's down the bottom, because these aren't things that are going to be a problem, right? things like pole shift, meteorite impacts, UFO, you know, there's some of these I've put in to take the piss, right? Zombie apocalypse, or I don't know, that's kind of happening now, isn't it? But the point is that we don't need to waste our time on things that aren't going to happen when there's stuff happening right now in our faces. So food shortages is already in play. Global conflict is absolutely in play. Grid down blackouts is already being warned about, threatened about, and is already happening in various countries. Economic crisis is in full effect. National lockdowns we'll probably start to see during December and January. I'd imagine they'll start rolling those out. Cyber attacks probably should be moved up over time. We'll see what starts to happen. But so far, this is what we're looking at. And there's a lot of real life threats that are happening right now today. And of course, there's links in there to the Discord server as well. And links straight into the YouTube channel so you can go and subscribe. So definitely don't miss that. It'll be great to go and check out what's happening around the world now and again and keep up to date. And of course, I go live as and when during the week as well as things happen. So lots of zombies about, says Perps. Very confused people. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is kind of like somewhat of a let's have a look. So any ideas on securing plate glass window? Biggest issue, EMP prep alert. Yeah, so EMP is probably the way it would start. Yeah, I'll try and get it done for Friday night, our animal rescue. I'll try and get it done for tomorrow night. We'll see. It's like I say, it's a lot of work to put each show on. But you should definitely watch out the grid down scenario after this if you haven't seen it already. So should we get into the news then? First of all, we're going to hear from Tia. We'll start off with her just so she can warm us up and give us a quick, brief rundown of what's going on around the world. And then we'll come back and we'll go through the headlines and we'll go through what she's been talking about in a little bit more detail. So let's hear from Tia then, the Tactical Intelligence Assistant for Sigma Prepper. Artificial.
Quantum phase initiation sequence. Welcome to the Sigma Prepper Artificial Intelligence Report for week 42, 2022. Scanning global intelligence sources. Critical alert. This is not a test. Global threats detected. The Russia and Ukraine war. Multiple governments are evacuating their embassy staff members from Ukraine. Foreign citizens are also being advised to leave Ukraine with immediate effect. Danger. Satellite imagery shows an exponential increase in the mobilization and strategic positioning of advanced military hardware around the Russian and Ukrainian territories. Further analysis has identified and confirmed multiple nuclear launch-capable ballistic missile systems are now in play. Accordingly, the European Command, EUCOM, has entered a defense-ready condition status of DEFCON 2, code name, Fast Pace. Please spread this message today. You have minimal time to prepare. Outcome prediction. Ongoing energy wars between superpowers, combined with economic warfare tactics, leading to a catastrophic failure of gas and energy supply systems. Digital IDs are deployed throughout Western countries in an effort to enforce energy rationing and further tyrannical control measures. Mass closures of farms and small businesses are the result of inflation and government-imposed ESG regulations. Social cohesion is systematically attacked via propaganda, misinformation, and sophisticated division tactics. Recommendation. Assume the potential of prolonged power outages during winter months. In addition, gas shortages will likely restrict one's ability to produce heat. Provisions must be made accordingly. Secondary threat warnings. 1. Food shortages. Alert level remains at inevitable for all countries. 2. Global conflict and energy wars. Alert level increased to warning. 3. riots, and civil unrest. Alert level remains at inevitable for multiple Western countries. 4. Global economic crisis. Alert level remains at inevitable for all countries. 5. Nationwide blackouts and energy supply disruptions. Alert level increased to critical for multiple Western countries. Extreme caution ahead. Final recommendation. Share this report on your social media. Provide your friends and family with the urgency they need to act now. Please like this video and follow Sigma Prepper to keep up to date with ongoing developments. Thank you. I've been Tia, your tactical intelligence assistant. Intelligence is my middle name.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much, Tia. Let's hear it in the chat for our tactical intelligence assistant, Tia, who has given us a rundown of what's going on in the world. And of course, she doesn't really care about emotion, which is nice. She just tells it as it is, so it makes it a nice, clean way to hear what's going on, what are the things we should be concerned about, and so on. So I hope you got through Tia's report okay and out the other side. She just tells it how it is with her outcome predictions and things, so it's quite handy. Just a quickly there with RR Animal Rescue, talking about plywood from inside or on and outside, putting up now. This is to protect windows. If you're able to hang on until our next segment, which is the Prepper's Progress. Oh no, sorry, tell a lie. We've got Sigma Prepper Quiz, the survival trivia, multiple choice, A, B, C, D coming up straight after the SHTF Intel. But if you wait until the Prepper's Progress, Extreme Focus has sent in some great pictures of some cool plylocks.com, and you can put them on plywood and affix them into your window space, with plywood, and it affixes them in without any bolts or anything like that. So if you hang about until that segment, RR Animal Rescue, you'll see what we're talking about. It'll be worth you checking in. So thanks for the love for Tia. Really appreciate it. So basically, Russia-NATO conflict is largely what she's been chatting about, and of course, like I said, you can always pop over to the website and you can always check out what her latest report is, and she usually comes out on a Monday or a Tuesday for the weekly report. So do check in on that. It's a great one to share on social media. The link to that Tia report is in the description below, so please do share that individually and this video on your social media for the SHTF analysis. So what we're going to do then, we're going to have a quick look through the headlines. We're already way behind schedule because we've got so much rocking this week. But let's have a quick look through the BBC World headlines and let's get a look and see quickly what they want us to know. So BBC World, this obviously a lot to do with the Iranian drone, and this is going to spark all sorts of things with Iran. They've already been setting Iran up with the protests going on just to demonize the country. That's usually how it starts. That was several months ago, don't forget, with the burqa issue. So they do these things. This is how they start to destabilize. This is like the fourth and fifth generation warfare tactics that I've talked about at great length before. Tia's mentioned several months ago to expect to see, and sure enough, that's exactly what we saw with the demonization of political systems in countries. Is usually how they start to destabilize them in from within. And so all this drone business is just more of that, right? So Ukrainians told to charge everything as power grid hit by Russia. Which, interestingly enough, during this whole time since February, Russia hasn't done anything to their power supply and hasn't done anything to their internet. The only people who turned Ukraine's internet off, funnily enough, was Europe. Germany, I think. It wasn't Russia. It hasn't done anything like that. Haven't attacked any of their infrastructure in that way. So I'm not sure what this is about, because so far that's not something they've been doing. But phones, power banks, torches and batteries need to be charged, it urged. I'll tell you what they need to do is they need to go and check out the Sigma Prepper. They need to check out the SHTF scenarios segment. Links in description. Episode number 2, grid down scenario, looking at day by day what happens in a grid down scenario. So as much as 40% of Ukraine's energy infrastructure has been seriously damaged, according to Matey Boy, an advisor to the energy minister. So basically, this is just more of the same, right? And we've got martial law business going on as well. As funny as is in this report, because I've got a separate one for this. Russia is now implementing martial law in areas of Ukraine that is recently annexed. Kherson and Zaporizhzhia, no idea, in the south, and Donetsk and Luhansk in the east. The Kremlin claims those regions are now part of Russia, a claim internationally rejected and condemned. Martial law means tighter security checks and restrictions on movement in the areas affected. This is something, don't forget, that Tia's been talking about for some months with the martial law element of it. This was something that was suspected about 2 months ago now, based on the patterns happening with movements of military hardware. Seems to be more to do with martial law than it seemed to be with a global conflict, but we'll see how it plays out. For all we know, this is a ruse to get pieces in position. So it seems his only tool available to him is to brutalize individual citizens in Ukraine to try to intimidate them into capitulating, he said. And don't forget, the other big first thing to learn about what's going on at the moment is the fact that the first thing lost in any conflict is the truth. And so we are right in the middle of hybrid warfare tactics, which includes things like misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, and all sorts of nasty stuff. So you're never going to see what's going on. You're never going to find out the truth in any of this. Certainly not from here. Certainly not from here. Yeah? Ukraine war, Iranian drone experts on the ground in Crimea. It's just not even worth reading, to be honest, is it? New York court dismisses Kevin Spacey's sexual assault lawsuit because, of course, he never did anything wrong, didn't he? He never went to Epstein Island or anything like that. So, he was totally utterly innocent. Never done nothing. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. It was just someone who looked like me, was the same name and same passport and stuff. But, it just wasn't me. Amazing. So let's get into G Captain, then let's see what's going on with shipping, because this is something that's affecting us all of the time. And here's this, I've been following this for some time now. And sure enough, it's resulted as was forecasted. Dry winter unlikely to save Mississippi River shipping. So we are losing shipping infrastructure and supply chain just daily now. Yeah, every day there's either something happening, like routes are being closed off, or factories are burning down, or businesses are going out of business and bankrupt, right? Every day there's something to do with, or another farm is being shut down because of some regulation. It's just, there's so many things happening at once. It's just not a coincidence, right? It is the systematic destruction of it all. Bit by bit. It's statistically impossible for this number of failures to happen sequentially. It's absolutely... You ask anyone in the Harvard Department of Statistics, and they're known for it, right? They'll tell you the same thing. They're already saying the same thing. US container imports tumble as supply stress gives way to slack. So again, just following up, because this is something I've talked about again for weeks now, about how the numbers have been down and down and down, and looking at the implications on the ports and things. It's just such a mess. Goods packed in ocean containers account for roughly 25% of US imports, and many of the purchases made by consumers, whose spending fuels as much as 70% of US economic activity. Volume surged as much as 40% from 2019 levels during the pandemic, as retailers raced to meet soaring demand for goods. So that's a surprise surge, clogged ports, and spawned cascading delays, leading to delayed deliveries of everything from pharmacy supplies to Peloton exercise bikes. As recently as March, the Biden administration's supply chain task force had tracked container imports as part of a dashboard to monitor the distress in the distribution of goods and a contributor to high prices. We're going back to 2019, said transportation economist Walter Kemses, who believes consumers are reverting to their historical spending split of 70% on services and 30% on goods. So it's just basically all these ports are just, they're failing one by one because they're just dying from not having the throughput. There's and again, all of these problems with the ports can't be a coincidence, right? It just seems like it is a systematic destruction. And now we've got Biden administration announces next steps for offshore oil and gas lease sales. Energy, I mean, the energy wars at the moment is just beyond belief. I mean, first of all, Biden's just destroyed about 50% of the US oil reserves. There was 780 million barrels, whatever it was, and he's basically used 1 million barrels a day to try and stem the inflation gas prices and reduce the country's oil reserves by about 50%. It's on about 400 and something million barrels in reserves now of oil, which works out to be about 42 days worth of oil is all you got left in America. And then Saudi Arabia comes out and says they're going to reduce their output of oil by 2 million barrels a day. Right after Biden's just spanked about half of your country's reserves over there, right? To try and keep the fuel prices down. And now Saudi Arabia come along and just gone... whoosh. And then they're reducing supply by 2 million barrels a day, pushing the prices up anyway, which is exactly what Biden was trying to avoid by dishing out 1 million barrels a day out of the reserves. There is the massivest spider behind my monitor. You got no idea how big that spider is. Sorry. But yeah, we got all sorts of sabotage things going on as well with the energy supply. We've got, it's not just the Nord Stream pipelines, which is what we're getting into next here. Because there's some video footage that is now released showing the damage, right? Excuse me. But there's things like internet cables on the Isle of the Shetland Islands, north of Scotland. That's been severed, and there's another internet cable, communications cable, that's been severed between Scotland and the Otley or something islands as well. And it's just, again, it's statistically impossible for two cables to be damaged at the same time, the same as Nord Stream pipeline 1 and 2 being damaged at the same time, in the same time as that other undersea cable that was damaged going from Denmark to wherever in the same week. Really? This is exactly what Tia talked about 3 weeks ago. She said it was all about the 4th and 5th generation warfare. It was all about not looking out for things like bullets and bombs flying about, because that's not how it will start. It will be things like this. It will be sabotage. And it will be covert destruction of things to make it look like industrial accidents. What happens? The next 3 weeks, what have we seen? We've had this, everything, pipelines, internet cables, communications links. We're already right in the middle of you know what. I hate to say it, but this is how it goes down. I remember 2.5, 3 years ago now, I was very clear about the process of how many different types of warfare there are and how many we were already been experiencing up until that point with the cyber warfare, the economic warfare, the proxy wars. When I listed about 10 different forms, right, and about 9 of them were all rocking. So, now we got this going on. Oakland cops hope to arm robots with lethal shotguns, right? Does that surprise anyone? Of course not. While official language condoning killer robots is shelved for now, Oakland police are still pursuing the option. In a series of little-noted Zoom meetings this fall, the city of Oakland, California, grappled with a question whose consequences could shape the future of American policing. Should cops be able to kill people with shotgun-armed robots? So yeah, this is nice, isn't it? So those who didn't think that, Skynet and all that. I mean, I've seen worse than that. Like when you look at some of the stuff that DARPA's been working on. Let's just do a Control F DARPA for a laugh. Nah, they're not involved in this shenanigans, which makes a change. Just doing a quick search for the word DARPA on here somewhere. But yeah, this is the sort of things we're going to start seeing more and more, right? And, this is all part of that, fourth industrial revolution type thing where it's all about automation and robots and stuff taking over. And the problem about having robot police forces rocking about out there is there's no reasoning with them. Anyone who's seen Elysium will know what I'm talking about. Get in line. Put on your mask. Put on your mask. There's no please. There's no thank you. There's no oh, go on. Yeah. There's no smiling nicely in the hope that it will smooth anything over with a robot. That's the scary thing about it. So let's check out a DEFCON level warning today then. Over here on defconlevel.com, which I like to go to. And it's a good old, it's a good site as well, because they do daily updates of what's going on in the military news, right, in terms of stuff hitting the fan. So just working back in reverse order from the most recent here, 20 Chinese military aircraft and 3 PLAN vessels were spotted around the island of Taiwan on October 20th. According to Taiwan's Ministry of Defense, we got that going on as well. And then on October 19th, you got this General Michael Eric, the commander of CENTCOM, conducted a visit aboard the USS West Virginia, US Navy Ohio-class nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine, at an undisclosed location at a sea in international waters in the Arabian Sea. We got here, Russia has declared martial law in the 4 regions that it has annexed in Ukraine, which include... And then we've got, as well on the October the 20th, today, the United States deployed 4 bombers from South Dakota to Anderson Air Force Base in Guam. So, ahead of North Korea's expected nuclear test. So, you know, don't forget, whenever you see all these drills and things going on around the world, right? Drills are a brilliant way for, you know, militaries to position their chess pieces where they need them geographically, right? It's sometimes difficult for a country's military to geographically disperse itself in a covert enough stealthy way that doesn't look like they're preparing for some sort of an attack. So military drills are a great way to hide your intentions under the guise of being a drill. And so anything going on in your North Korea is a great opportunity. Never let a crisis go to waste, right? But if North Korea is doing some stuff up there, it's a great opportunity for America to start getting, and the West generally, to have an excuse to go over there to do their own drills, because then they're really in position for when things start heating up between China and Taiwan, which no doubt, inevitably, as Tia would say, is looming. So there's a lot of, and of course then we've got the stuff with the Nord Stream pipeline footage, which is kind of rocking about everywhere. But we do, as she mentioned in the report there, Tia, in her tactical global analysis report, sorry, you can see here the main central command is on DEFCON 3, right? The lower, the worse it is. You can see here DEFCON 2 is red, right? This is Africa. Because you've got some stuff going on there as well, right? But the live European command alert is on DEFCON 2 already. Not unsurprisingly, obviously, in Europe it's heating up, right? So I think when we'll probably... Tia said several weeks ago, right, she reckoned her outcome prediction was that DEFCON 2 would be declared for Live Central Command within like about 90 days, so by January. We'll see how that plays out, but you'll see everyone else is looking like DEFCON 3 at the moment. So, yeah, there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot to keep track of. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick fly through the... Sorry, Perps, your YouTube didn't like that comment, but I've just made it okay. Just make sure. Amphir in the house, is it? I like the way Amphir gets in the house just in time for the Sigma Prepper quiz coming up after, because you do well on that. Didn't you win last week? 6 out of 7. Was it you? Sure it was. Let us know in the chat if it was you. Remind me. So let's have a look at some Earth changes then. We'll look at some solar flares and some quakes. And we'll see what we've got going on. This is the headlines on the watchers, just to see the main headlines here. The strong and shallow M6.7 earthquake hits south of Panama. One of the questions we had last week on a Sigma Prepper quiz, trivia quiz, was what's the difference between, you know, in shakeness between an M6 and an M7 magnitude, and it's actually 32 times stronger. So magnitude 7.0 is 32 times stronger than a magnitude 6.0. Just so you know. So 6.7 isn't small, right? The weekly volcanic activity report, it's not too severe actually. There are a few things going on. We've got a partial solar eclipse coming up on October the 25th. And again, we've got the damage to Nord Stream 1 pipeline coming in. But yeah, so you've got this widespread record-breaking morning lows to bring first freeze of the season to parts of Midwest and South. And seen a lot of my American subscribers from this area already reporting things starting to take a sort of turn to the chilliness. Early season, I feel like it here actually in the UK as well. It definitely feels like it's getting like colder. It feels like it's getting colder quicker than I remember, and I'm thinking, you know, it's like not even November yet and it's already feeling a bit chilly. I'm gonna have to be going into roll necks and hoodies and stuff soon, and rather than my sleeveless shirts. We'll see how it goes on, and then we're getting right into the winter and it'll be onesie time. We'll be wearing our onesies. So cold air will grip much of the eastern 2/3 of the United States in the days ahead, bringing much below normal temperatures to the east coast and first freeze of the season to portions of the Midwest and South. And don't forget, if you know who's going to do any form of an attack of any kind, it's going to be when we're at our weakest in the west, which is in the wintertime, and when Russia is at its strongest, which is in wintertime. They train all day, every day in the winter in a super, super stupid degrees freezingness. We don't. So they have the advantage. We don't. Their vehicles are designed to run in the ice and the snow. Ours aren't. They have more icebreakers than any other country in the world. We don't have any. You see the problem? So if I were Russia, that's when I would do it tactically, right? A deep upper level low pressure system currently sits over the Great Lakes. A strong cold front continues to push south and east of the Gulf and Atlantic coast. So let's just expect things to get super cold, super dark, because power's going to go out, right? If we just have that as our expectation, just as we heard from Tia to say, you know, you're safer to make the assumption of a blackout in the cold winter months, and then you can make preparations accordingly, right? Because as we've already seen, a lot of places already talking about blackouts and energy shortages, gas shortages and so on, leading to rolling blackouts. And when they say about 2 days at a time, that means they're probably talking about 2 weeks at a time. Don't forget the whole 2 weeks to flatten the curve business, and look how that turned out. Higher cost of living expected after top food producing regions suffer major flooding in Australia. Again, like I said, every day, this is the 17th, this is on Monday, right? Every day there's something happening causing more of a problem with the supply chain, more of a problem with the food supply, more of a problem with the gas and energy supply. It's not a coincidence, yeah? So again, this is just going to be more and more shortages of food, which is going to create more and more inflation, which is going to create more and more issues down the line. It's just all in all not a good look. And the thing is that, you know, gone are the days really, in a situation like we're being faced with right now. The bigger issue we've got is the fact that there's, you know, gone are the days where you've got operations like FEMA that can get out to somewhere and help people. When you've got a countrywide crisis going on, of lots of different layers and tiers, and you got horizontal problems and vertical problems going on everywhere. You know, it's all very well if you've got like a Katrina situation, you can pile a load of dudes down there and you can make a difference, right? But if you've got Katrina going on that scale of a disaster everywhere in every state at the same time, believe me, there aren't enough resources to help. There just aren't. It's a really easy one to do the numbers on, that one. Really easy one to do the numbers on. Worst floods on record hit Nigeria, over 1.4 million. This is what I'm talking about. When you talk about scale, you start to see the problem. 1.4 million people affected. Imagine that. 1.4 million at one time, all at the same time with a problem. Nigeria experiences worst floods on record this rainy season, with more than 1.4 million people affected and 800,000 displaced. You don't just rebuild 800,000 new homes overnight. According to Permanent Secretary of Nigeria's Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Nasir, the floods affected vast swaths of the country this season, sparking fears that could worsen food insecurity, here we go again, and inflation. Here we go again. You see? You've got 500 people 1,546 were injured, and we got 790,000 displaced. I mean, this is like epic proportions, right? 45,000 houses destroyed. And check it out, 70,000 hectares or 174,000 acres of farmland and crops were destroyed. Yeah, don't forget it's about 18 months from fork to plate. Oh, sorry, from farm to fork. Yeah, so from planting the seeds in the farm, or in this case, not planting the seeds because they get wiped out until it lands on the shop shelves, between 12 and 18 months. So all of the losses here is just, yet again, this is going to be a long drain system. I don't think this famine's going to happen overnight. I think it's going to be a real nasty, long drawn out, horrible famine. So unless you've got a million years worth of food preps, I don't know. You'd have such catastrophic population reduction at that point. The secretary said this high level of damage was caused in part because people violated regional planning rules and constructed homes and buildings near waterways. Not always. Not always. So let's check out the earthquakes then. 52 on the map today. We usually see about 30. So we're slightly above average today. We had some stuff going on down in Panama. We've got this one here as well. This is one in Panama. But we had this one we were looking at in... was it last week? We had these chappies here going on in Puerto Rico. It looks like we've still got ones going on in Puerto Rico, look. And now we've got this one going on down here in Panama. This 6.7, which is pretty big. But I did check and there is no tsunami worry for that one. It does have the icon down here for tsunami, but I did look into it and it's been recalled, so we're alright. But there was like a good 45,000 people reported moderate to heavy shaking on that one. And there's definitely something going on in this area with all this activity going here as in Puerto Rico as well. So this whole South American region is, and of course, look, we've got a bit of a swarm going on in California as well. So yeah, there's definitely some activity there. But we'll check out the space weather because it's actually calming itself down. Look, we've got one active sun, well, not even active. We've got one sunspot listed at the moment. AR 3126 is all we've got. It is bang in the middle. It is bang in the middle, pretty much. Look, and then you've got the other two that are now turning off on the the eastern limb. Sorry. So currently 4 active regions visible. Sunspot number count is 50 with a solar flux of 116. That's not for the day. So yeah, and then this is how it's looking. Green across the board for the sun, really. It's actually looking alright. And having only the one sunspot today, I wonder how it's going to affect the sunspot chart here, which has been nearly doubling itself every month. The sunspots have predicted versus how many we actually end up having each month is doubling or more than doubling every time. As you see here in May, for example, monthly values were 96, but the actual what we would expect to see would have been 39. Less than half. And the same with last month in September. We were expecting to see 51, but we ended up with 96, again nearly double. But if it goes, you know, doubling every time is sending it way off that red line of the predicted values. But now we're seeing it with only the one sunspot today. We'll see how that changes it, but I don't know. It's been pretty active all month, hasn't it? So it's unlikely. So I think what we'll do, should we have a very quick butchers at, let's have a look at the cryptos quickly to see what that's doing, and we won't spend too much time on it, but we will have a quick look and see what the numbers are showing, since the numbers down here are last week's numbers and it's looking the same. It's kind of a sea of red as usual. The size of these boxes are based on market cap and stuff. So you've got 19,000 bitcoins below that 20,000 mark again. Ethereum's so far down below that 1,500 mark now. It's totally lost it. Nothing's doing anything. It's just, I keep saying, it's just being destroyed. It's been completely taken over by the Aladdin, BlackRock, Vanguard owned trading system bots. You've got the central bank digital currency coming up, which is just going to be superseding any non-governmental based cryptos. So you've got that happening. So I don't expect that to be. I don't expect that to. I'm just done with cryptos at this point. I mean, I've gone from being a blockchain developer I was training in, and you know, smart contract design and stuff like this, to, you know, so there's not really many people that understand the blockchain more than me, put it that way, and yet I've lost faith. I've lost faith, and I know a lot of people feel the same way, right? And it's already been co-opted, it's already been controlled, it's already been SEC'd, you know what I mean? It's already been regulated to within an inch of its life. It's already been manipulated with all the, like, the rich, you know, the big boy player stock market trading bots and stuff like that are just destroying it now. I'm sorry, I that's just how it is. So let's have a look at the markets then. Since the numbers on the ticker tape for mine aren't particularly are a week out, but natural gas is going down again. Gold down to 1600, which is a joke. A joke. We're in the middle of a complete and utter economic crisis. We've got an absolute bubbles of everything going on. We've got basically a full-blown global conflict going on. And you honestly think gold is there at $1,600? Seriously? Do you see how pathetic the stock market and just everything is now? Just everything is just a lie. Even the price of gold is a lie. It just means everything is worthless, meaningless. Yeah? The electricity prices isn't based on anything. Nothing. There's no reason for this to be this high. There isn't any reason for any of these prices to be these prices. There is no free market economics left. We're done. So let's have a look at the currencies. See what sort of a mess that's in. You got the pound to the dollar is looking to go 1-to-1 at some point, probably before January, I would say, is my prediction. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 1-to-1 dollar ratio. And why is that? It's got nothing to do with the other currencies collapsing against the dollar. It's just about the dollar becoming stronger. Why is it becoming stronger? Because everyone's fleeing to the dollar. Right? Everyone's getting out of their stocks and shares and assets and shit, and they're getting into the dollar because out of all the other currencies in the world, the dollar's the least likely, even though it's still inevitable to collapse. So as I've explained to people before, when they say, oh, American dollar's doing really well, it's not doing really well. It's just when everybody's falling and you're just falling slower than everyone else, it doesn't mean you're flying. Yeah? It's got nothing to do with growth or being strong. It's just because we're not seeing that reflected in the commodities and the stocks is all based on nonsense now. They can't let the gold price go up because America and the West owes so many countries so many tons of gold. We can't possibly afford to let it go any higher. That's the reality of it. The only reason the gas prices are so high is because the governments are trying to stop people using gas just so they don't have to give any money to Russia. It's got nothing to do with shortages. Nothing to do with shortages. It's just your own government's not wanting to give Russia any money for gas, so therefore they'll threaten to put you in jail if you put your temperature gauge above 64 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees centigrade. You go in jail for 3 years if you're in Switzerland. It's not because there's a shortage of gas. It's because they don't want to pay Russia any money because they know that Russia will take that money and probably use it to send stuff boom, straight back over. That's what they're really concerned about. Just so you know. All the shortages are all fake. Right? So, just so you know. But like I said, do make sure you check in on the SHTF Intel report on a weekly basis. You can come in, you'll always see the latest tier report and you'll see any updates that's been going on. This was last update on the 18th of October, look, 2 days ago. And of course it will show you in order of what's hitting the fan, just as tier highlights. That's what this is largely based on with the intelligence report. and we like to keep you up to date what's going on. So do go and check out the website. And of course, another great way to keep up to date is to make sure you're logged in and part of the Sigma Prepper Discord server, which links again are in the description. You can come in here to breaking news. You'll see various reports in there shared by various people on various different topics. So there's that going on, the breaking news. You've got Clown World and things as well, right? So there's all sorts going on. And so don't miss out on that. It's completely free. It'd be lovely to have you part of the pack and to share your knowledge and your information with our guys. So thank you everybody for joining us for the SHTF Intel. I'm just catching up with the chat quickly. Give them all fur babies from me. No, my darling Debbie. She's having a rock and roll. She's got work. And let's have a look. Oh, have we got Crypto Sam in the house? Have we? I didn't see Crypto Sam sneak in the back door there. I'm not seeing the name, but yeah, thank you everyone for being with us. And let's have a quick look, make sure everything's okay. Yeah, we're all good. So thank you so very much. We're going to get back to the sorry, what am I talking about? We're going to be getting back to the base camp, and we've got the Ultimate Prepper Award, which is what you're going to be winning for the Sigma Prepper quiz coming up straight after this segment. So don't go anywhere, because we're not going anywhere. But if you're watching this afterwards, don't forget this is a live cut from the Sigma Prepper live show going live on 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Do catch up with us live, and of course during the week we have live intel reports as well of what's hitting the fan during the week, so do catch up with that one. And do hit the like button if you've enjoyed this report. Do subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all the latest ongoing stuff. And in the meantime, we're going to get back to base camp, so don't go anywhere. Let's get back into it. Thank you very much. What can I say? 5 seconds. Here we go. Welcome back to base camp here in the Magic Forest with your host Andy, the Sigma Prepper live show, the live show for preppers. I trust everyone's well. So that was the SHTF Intel report. It's happy Wednesday. It's happy Thursday for me, Eagle Hunting. Oh, hello. Great to see you. So yes, what have we got then? Next we've got coming up is the Sigma Prepper quiz. So let's see how well you think you can do. I wonder if Urban Harvesting has woken himself up yet, because he's in Australia, so it's morning time for him. He usually likes to have a good old stab at the Sigma Prepper quiz, the survival trivia. So we've got that coming up next. Then we'll have a quick blast through the Prepper's progress to see what sort of progress you've been sending in to me, and we can congratulate you and inspire others on that one. And then of course we've got a VIP after party for those who are supporting me on Patreon. We have our one-to-one audio chats between us all after the show, which is lovely to do. So thank you for joining us for that one if you're able to tonight. Just making sure everything is happy. Yes, we're all happy and everything is set up okay. I can just close some of these 100,000 browsers down now that I've got rocking over in the background. So yes, let's have a quick butch, make sure everything's looking healthy. I did notice it turned off the embedding again. It seems to have a habit of doing that. Cheeky little what's-its. But so that's what we got coming up then. But for the time being, we've got a Sigma Prepper quiz. So should we get into it then? Let's see if everyone's ready. No, stop Urban, says Sandy. Oh, let's have a look. I wonder about you, RR Animal Rescue. Let's see how well you can do with the Sigma Prepper trivia quiz tonight. Well done, Intel reporting. Thank you, my darling. I hope you're happy. I'm going to be doing some stuff during the week because there's so much to go through. I'm going to have to do multiple reports during the week to catch up, catch everybody up with what's going on as I see it. I know people enjoy my take on things, so I need to do more of that. So I will do going forwards. It's a great opportunity as well to give you some things to share with your friends and family. So. Right, so should we get into the Sigma Prepper quiz then? Because I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. So do join me. We are now getting into the Sigma Prepper quiz. Let's do it. Play along. Yes, indeed. Cheers, everybody. Sigma Pepper quiz. Multiple choice, A, B, C, D. If you're watching this as a live cut, you are watching this as live cut from the Sigma Prepper quiz of the Sigma Prepper live show, going live on 11 PM UK time, 6 PM Eastern time. Do join us live next time. But for those that are with us live right now, good show. Thank you, Cynthia. We ain't even started yet, girlfriend. And RR Animal Rescue is going to have a try. Danger Bob's in the house, so he's going to be giving it a go. Yeah, look, Robert McNamara just got here just in time. And excellent. So we should be all good tonight. We'll see if we can get ourselves a 7 out of 7. What are you playing for? The Ultimate Prepper Award. That's what you're playing for. Look at it sparkle and glisten. Who wouldn't want to win that? And all you got to do is guess. Well, you don't even have to get 7 out of 7 to win the award. But if you do, that is an ultimate win, and we haven't had one yet. So this is like episode 7 or something tonight. So yeah, for the fact that we've had no winners for the last 7 episodes. So tonight's quiz topic, we're just going with general survival info and general prepper info. Oh, I'm giving myself hiccups now, so we'll see how we get on with that. And so we've got a nice spread of questions, so it shouldn't be biased towards any one subject. So should we get into it then? This is how you play, just so you know. Don't pop your answers in one by one like this, because you'll just be telling everybody else live what you think the answers are. Wait until you've seen all 7 questions. When you see the 7th question, you've got your 7th answer. That's what you want to do, is enter in your answer at that point with your 7 characters all in a row like this, and then you know it's all good in the hood. And then you'll have 30 seconds at the end when you get to the last question. You'll have 30 seconds to get your last answer in, right? But don't put them in individually. Wait until you see all 7 and put your string of 7 characters in. So get ready then, and good luck. And don't forget, if you do get 7 out of 7, you'll be winning the Ultimate Prepper Award role on a Discord server. So don't forget, links in description, free to sign up to Discord. And if you win 7 out of 7, you'll get a special role for flexing on the server, right? So everyone will know, right, that you're the master. So should we do it then? Get into the questions. Let's see what we got for you this week. Are you sitting comfortably? Let's go, says Sandy. The dunce hat is mine. I don't know. You never know. You never know. Question number 1 then. Here we go. Which of these containers is the safest bottle for drinking water? Which of these containers is the safest bottle for drinking water? So this is based on like not having contaminants leaking out and nasty stuff, right? So A, PET plastic bottle, B, a glass bottle, C, BPA-free plastic bottle, or D, a polycarbonate bottle. Which of these is the safest for drinking water to be in your preps? PET plastic bottles A, B, glass bottles, C, BPA-free plastic bottles, or D, polycarbonate bottles. Question number 2. Which of the following aiming hardware is best for close, as in 20-yard range targets? Which of the following aiming hardware is best for close targets? Is it A, iron sights? Is it B, reflex or red dot sight? Is it C, a 4 times magnified scope? Or is it D, an 8 times magnified scope? Which of the following aiming hardware is best for close targets? Is it A, iron sights, B, reflex red dot sights, C, 4 times scope, or D, 8 times scope? Question number 3 then, nearly halfway there. What is the sun's total solar irradiance? So in terms of solar power, how much total sun available is there, per 1 meter squared, right? So how many watts per 1 meter? If you took a 1 meter by 1 meter, how much total available energy is there, assuming your solar panel was 100% efficient? How much could you get out of 1 meter by 1 meter? Is it A, 150 watts? This is based on sea level on a clear day, right? A, 150 watts, B, 500 watts, C, 1000 watts, or is it D, 2000 watts? A, 150 watts, B, 500 watts, C, 1000 watts, or D, 2000 watts? How much total energy for 1 meter square at sea level? Right, question number 4, more than halfway there. If all you have is soil, if all you have is soil, how much of it is needed to reduce the radiation, boom, mushroom cloud radiation, exposure by 50%? So to just limit it by 50%, not completely, but just 50% reduction of radiation, how much soil would you need between you and it? Is it A, 0.2 meters or 20 centimeters? Is it B, 1 meter or roughly 3 foot? Is it C, 3 meters or roughly 9 foot or 3 yards-ish? Or D, is it 6 meters or 6 yards? A, 0.2 meters, B, 1 meter, C, 3 meters, or D, 6 meters. Question number 5 then. What is the rear of an archery arrow that contacts the string cord? The bit on the end of an arrow that goes up against the string. What's it called? Is it called A, a knock? Is it B, a butt? Is it C, a splanter? Or is it D, a backstop? A, knock, B, butt, C, splanter, or B, backstop? Question 6, the penultimate question. So, this is an important one, especially what we got coming this winter, right? Butane gas becomes unusable. I could have said unstable as well. Butane gas becomes unusable below what temperature? So this is basically the boiling point. And this is going to sound funny to some people who aren't familiar with physics and stuff, but we're talking about the boiling point of butane, right? So at what point does it become unusable? It doesn't A, minus 42 degrees centigrade or minus 43 Fahrenheit. Is it B, minus 32 degrees centigrade, minus 26 degrees Fahrenheit? Is it C, minus 11 degrees centigrade or 12 degrees Fahrenheit? Or is it D, minus 1 degree centigrade, 31 Fahrenheit, where it becomes unusable because it's too cold? A, minus 42 degrees C, B, minus 32 degrees C, C, minus 11 degrees C, or D, minus 1 degree C. So, question number 7 is the final question. Once you see this, you're going to be ready to put all your answers in. So, I wonder if, I'm not sure if Xavier is actually keeping track of everything. Just let us know you're in the house and ready, Xavier, for the scoring. So, final question then. What is the correct colour jerry can? I know there's a few people who've been begging for this question to come up because we talked about it on the V.I.P after party several weeks ago. What is the correct colour jerry can to use for diesel? So, out of all the colours, what jerry can would you use for diesel? Is it A, yellow, B, red, C, white, or D, blue? What's the correct understood colour for a jerry can? X is in the house. For diesel. Would you put that in a yellow can? Would you put that in a red can for B? C, white fuel jerry can, or D, blue? So get your answers in the chat, because tell you what, that is it for the 7 questions, and here we go. Let's have a look and see what we got coming in then. Thank you everyone for playing along, really appreciate it. I just saw a didn't I get another thing censoring a question somewhere? Did it? I can't see it. But we had Danger Bobbin was actually first in the actual with an answer there. We don't know which one's right or wrong yet. We've got to go through with the answers. And time's up, Rubber Ducks. Basically, we had Urban Harvesting was second. Sorry, time up. Urban Harvesting was second in there. Daily Survival was third. Then we had Noelle Marie. Great to see you, my darling. Are you still working and you're playing along with the quiz at the same time, Noelle? And Master X, good man, moderator of all moderators in the house for the show. Amphir was next. Then it's Extreme Focus. Then it was Sandy, Anzac Girl, Carolyn Rose, Ghost Cowboy, Perps, and so on. So let's get through it then, and let's see how well you did. So question number 1, we had which of these containers is the safest for drinking from, right? In terms of storing water, drinking from, and so on. So let's just jump into my folder here, because I've got some, I like to go through, I like to have some answer content. So episode 7, let's just make sure I've got the right thing open. So let's have a look and see what people said then and see what people were thinking. So, Danger Bob was the first in the house, and he was going for B for this one, as was Urban, as was Daly and Noel. So it's looking like everyone's... Perps had C there with BPA-free plastic. Oh. See, that I just got a warning for your one, Sandy. It didn't like the ASS for some reason. Oh, here we go. RR Animal Rescue's in the house. She had B. Is it a she or a he, by the way? I don't know. Or they. Who knows? Let us know how I should... Let me know your pronouns. Fucking hell. Have we got to that? So, nicely done, because yes, it's glass. Glass is the least nastiestness of it all. You know, your BPA-free plastic is what you're looking for, Perps. You're absolutely right to go for C, but glass is even better than that. So, Cynthia as well, my darling, she had B. Nicely done. So well done, because it looks like virtually everybody got that right. So if you can, obviously the only downside really with glass is just the fact of the cost and of course the fragility if it breaks. But depending on what your plan for its use of it is, you know, there are some options and things. Here's a website I found that had a reasonable list of the healthiest water bottles for you and the planet. And here's the thing about glass is that it's, you know, recyclable. You can reuse the water bottles and things if they're glass. Some plastics can only be recycled about 6-7% or something like that. And of course you've got the microplastic problem working its way into your drinking water, which is why when people see expiry dates on bottles of water, they don't understand why there's an expiry date on a bottle of water. But it's because of the bottle. It's the plastic in the bottle, not the water. That's what's expiring, because the microplastics start leaking into it. So you got clean canteen. I'm a big fan of clean canteens. This is an insulated one. I use non-insulated because you can put it on a fire and you can cook stuff up in it. But stainless steel is all right. But yeah, I didn't list stainless steel as an option. You'll notice it was glass. So yeah, well done to everybody who got that one right. So the next one then, number 2. Question number 2, we had, which of the following aiming hardware is best for close targets, about 20-yard targets? So I'll be interested to see what people had for this. Let's have a look. Where's the chat? The chat is here. B we were going for, says Danger Bob. Urban Harvesting was going for B. Daily Survival went for B. Like it. Noelle Marie went for iron sights. Amphir went for iron sights. Extreme Focus B. Sandy was going B as well. Answer Girl C. I'll tell you what, right? Some people could say this is a matter of taste, but it isn't. There are pros and cons to these things. I'll tell you now, is Reflex Red Dot for close range is better than even iron sights. And I'll tell you why. We'll see what we've got here. Types of gun sights, right? Just so you're familiar, so you know what we're talking about. So the iron or open sights, the iron sights are like what comes with it usually. You know, you just got the little metal bit on the front and the metal bit of the barrel, and you line them up, you know, and that's your lot, right? So your peep sights are similar, but they're just, you know. And then you got your telescopic sights, like your, what we said, the 4 times magnification, your 8 times magnification. So you got proper like binocular looking magnification for long range targets, right? But the problem with that is when you try and get yourself up there close range, to get yourself lined up on that's going to take forever. If you've ever tried using a pair of binoculars to look at something that's like the bottom of your garden or the other side of your room, you'll know what I mean about how impossible it is to line up a pair of binoculars to even find the thing you're trying to look at. So that's the reason why a scope's no good for short range. And the reflex sights is where you've got this kind of a configuration where you have just an open glass, which you don't have to line up to glass. In the scope for a normal rifle scope, you have to have, you know, the scope lined up like looking through a toilet roll tube. Reflex sight, not so much. So some of the benefits of it is about the fact that like, first of all, what you find is that when you're... Okay, so the first benefit is that for short range, you don't want magnification. Second of all, the benefit is you can get on target much quicker with having these chappies. Because you don't have to sort of line up as... You have to use one to know what I'm talking about. But the other thing that's important is that with iron sights, which would be the only other thing to use in close range, the problem with the iron sights is you lose focus of the target because you're racking your focus of your eye from the iron sight near side and the one at the end of the barrel. Yeah? So what happens is when you're lining up for your shot, right, let's get back to the iron sight. So you've got the front sight here. When your eye is here, you're eyeing it here and you're eyeing it there. And then you're eyeing the target. So you're adjusting your focus 3 times basically, yeah? To make sure you're on target. So you have to take your eye off focus of the target. Now the benefit with a reflex sight is that the optics are designed so that dot is in the same focal parameters as the target. So in infinite focus. So it means that when you're lining it up, you're not having to remove your focus from the target. So you can follow that target at close range without your eyes having to rack focus between different points. The other benefit of a reflex sight over things like an iron sight is the fact that you can use both eyes open. So you can still have situational awareness, you can still have your ambient peripheral view rocking at its max. You don't need to close one eye with a reflex sight. And yes, I'm left-handed and right-handed. I'm ambidextrous when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I'm quite comfortable either way. But scope, left eye, not right. Hence left-handed for some things, right-handed for others. But so that's basically the idea. So I'm not sure who's rocking with what on those answers, but it looks like a lot of people had that right, which is good. Let's just have a look. Boom. So let's get to question number 3 then. Question number 3. What's the sun's total solar irradiance? So this is important because if you're planning your off-grid solar panel system, you're going to want to know that you're taking into account what's a realistic amount of juice that you can get out of a realistic amount of space. Now, the sun's total solar radiance is just the total maximum amount of available energy coming from the sun on a good clear day at sea level. Not on the top of a mountain, but at sea level, right? It's the average. It's about 1300 watts. It's about 1300 watts, but by the time it's come through the atmosphere and it's got down to sea level, it ends up being at 1000 watts, as you see here. So 1000 watt is the answer for that. So for 1 meter by 1 meter square area, the maximum but since solar panels are only about 20% efficient, 18 to 20 something percent efficient, basically, solar panels, it means that in a 1 meter by 1 meter solar panel, or a 1 meter squared surface area of solar panel, you'd expect to get about 200 watts of power from that area. That's why this is important to know. And it will vary in different countries, and it will vary, but on average, yeah, this is the Wikipedia article for solar irradiance, look. But on average, yeah, it's considered to be 1000 watts. Measured in watts per square meter, look. So, did it say here about 1300? I probably should have checked the Wikipedia thing before doing this question. I just threw this up last minute. There's lots of nice calculations here. But you'll see it will say here somewhere it's basically 1000, unless it's going to be stupid and not even tell us it on here. But it's 1000, 1 kilowatt per square meter. So it gives you an idea of what's realistic to expect from solar panels, given the fact that you're talking about 15 to 22% roughly efficiency. It'll give you an idea what you can expect. I wonder how many people had that even in the right ballpark. So C is what we're looking for. Danger Bob was going for B, 500 watts. Urban Harvesting had C. Good man, good man. I know Urban Harvesting's just invested in a big old off-grid system. He's going to be sending us lots of pictures into Prepper's Progress now, aren't you, Urban Harvesting? Next segment coming up after Prepper's Sigma Prepper quiz is Prepper's Progress, where people can send in their progress of prepping and we share it amongst everybody with photos. So don't miss that. Daily Survival had A there, so 150 watt. So Noelle Marie had C. Well done, my darling. She had C. So you did well. Amphi had C as well, 1000 watt. Extreme Focus had D, 2000 watt. So yeah, nicely done. So question 4 then. If all you have is soil, how much is needed to reduce radiation exposure by 50%? So if what we've got going on at the moment, this is quite an important one, isn't it? So if you wanted to dig a hole in the ground, basically, what's the, you know, how thick are you going to have your earth walls to reduce the radiation exposure by 50%? And this is 1 meter, so 3 foot. So 1 meter of soil, 3 foot of soil, even that is only going to get rid of radiations, like 50% of it penetrating through. 0.2 meter is steel, 20 centimeters. Steel. So plate steel like that, 20.2 meters, 20 centimeters of steel will reduce it by 50%. The 1 meter is soil. So let's see who had any idea how bad radiation, how difficult it is to keep out of the way of it. So question number 4, fourth one in then, A, 0.2 meters. Yep, wishful thinking, just like me. Urban Harvesting was going C, 3 meter. Was going for A. Shouldn't have gone for A. Daily Survival had C, 3 meters. Noelle Marie had D, 6 meters. Amphir had C, 3 meters. So I'm surprised there's not many people got this one right, did they? Amset Gal had D, as did Carolyn. Ghost Cowboy had B, good man, good man. Perps had D. What did RR Rescue get? You get B as well. Well done, my darling. Oh, I don't know if you're darling. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're any sex, you're darling to me. You know how I roll. So anyone who got 1 meter, nicely done, B. So number 5 then. What is the rear of an archery arrow that contacts the string cord? So again, archery is really important for preparedness. It's a good hunting tool to have. Danger Bob there had A knock. You're absolutely right, my man. You're absolutely right. So did Urban Harvesting have A. Daily Survival had A. Noelle Marie had B. But Master X, you got Amphir had A. Nicely done. Extreme Focus had A as well. Good man, because Extreme Focus you'll see in his Prepper's Progress this week. He's been getting into archery. So this is basically the knock here. This is a bolt for a crossbow, but it's the same thing. And this is a special shaped one. It's got a half moon. This is called oval. That goes up against the and that goes up against the string and takes the load on it. I'm pretty sure I had some. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So yeah, this one here, anatomy of an arrow. Look. So you got the fletching, the cresting, the point, the shaft, the knock, and so on. Another one here. Look. To give you the parts in it, so you got the bullet point, the shaft, fletching, cock or index, and you got the knock. And that's what mates up against the string and spreads the load basically onto the knock and keeps the arrow in place on the string. So question number 6, this is important. This is important. I'm interested to see how well people did on this one. Urban Harvesting had B and changed it. But yeah, no, the Amphir for gamma radiation, that's what I said about mushroom cloud business radiation was what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is the deadly radiation because alpha and beta is not a problem. You can get rid of alpha and beta with like a plank of wood, basically. So butane gas becomes unusable below what temperature? Now it's an interesting one this, because I think a lot of people underestimate They underestimate what kind of impact temperature has on gas, right? People seem to think that when it's freezing cold, they're going to be able to use their gas bottles. No, you're not. Because even just as low as 1 degrees -1 centigrade or 31 Fahrenheit means that your butane gas is unusable. Unusable. Yeah? Because that's about the boiling point of gas. So it's at the point now where it's starting to the whole point of gas is it goes from liquid to a gas, right? But the only reason is because of if you've ever got gas on your hands, it's freezing cold, right? That's why. So in order for it to go from liquid state to gas state, for it to be burnt as a gas, it needs to be above this temperature, because this is the boiling point. Lower than this, it's not going to be a gas, is it? You see? Hence the boiling point. So I know it sounds weird for people who not like from a physics background or anything like that to have a boiling point that's 31 Fahrenheit or -1 degree centigrade, but that's basically what we're talking about, right? It's the boiling point of gas. So when it goes below that, it's not bubbling up anymore. And it's not releasing the gas anymore. And it becomes a problem. So what low temperature will my propane bowl stop working at? Right? So you're talking about... Now here's the thing, right? This is important. Propane is -42 degrees centigrade. So that's why I put that as A. I gave that as the option for A, look. -42 degrees centigrade or -43 Fahrenheit. Propane boiling point is much, much lower temperature. So it means that you can still use propane. And this is why I always say to people, if you're going to be getting into doing gas stuff, don't fuck about with butane, go straight to propane. Just don't make that mistake, because you've got a difference of being able to go to -1 degree or 32 Fahrenheit to -40 Fahrenheit. Yeah? So, yeah, don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. Whereas, in comparison, the boiling point, or, you know, in terms of... Got another one here, look. Why does my canister stove fail in cold weather? Right. You see here, look. Down to -43 degrees Fahrenheit. This is if you're talking about unlike butane, you see. So, yeah, why the primary culprit is butane, which stops vaporizing at 31 degrees Fahrenheit, its boiling point. Isobutane, a chemical variation of butane, continues vaporizing down to 11 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, and as it will say there, propane can go down to -43 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is super important to know, because, you know, when we're talking about prepping for the winter time, when we're talking about prepping for like hardcore winters and stuff with a power outage, you can't rely on your air conditioning and your electric, you're going to be... It's not going to be a good look, right? You're not going to get anything out of it. So do bear this in mind. If you're going to mess about a propane, not butane. There's no benefit to butane at all. So, question number 7 then. What is the correct colour jerry can to use for diesel? And it's funny because I talked about this. This is actually Extreme Focus suggested this as a trivia question. So thank you very much for sending this one in. Everybody else, you're more than welcome to send in your ideas for survival questions if you've got some great ones. And if you're not even a formulated question, I'm pretty good at turning it into a question, so don't worry about that. But just any inspiration or ideas you've got for questions, I'm totally open to it. So jump over onto the Discord server or something, send me a private message, and I'll only ever use one idea from one person in one set of 7, so you'd only have one question as your benefit advantage, right? But this is another important one, because if you're doing a bit of urban harvesting and you're out there trying to harvest some stuff in the urban environment, you're going to want to have a rough idea what's inside what coloured can if people are following the rules. What are the rules, Andy? Well, it should be yellow. It should be yellow. Ideally, you can't rely on it. You can't rely on people doing this, but if you're going to start getting yourself organised, then at least yourself, you can set off down the right track. So a red jerry can, gas can, is usually going to be your gasoline. You know, your 98, your 95 octane sort of typical unleaded, whatever, leaded gasoline. Your blue is going to be for your Jet A1 fuel, your kerosene, paraffin, stuff like that, yeah. Yellow's going to be for your diesels. Green's going to be oil storage and so on. You've got things like white. White would be water. You see white there, that would be covering your water. And then, as you see there, blue would be what do you call it? So yeah, so basically that leads us to the final answers should look something like this. And so what it means in terms of the winner, and by the way, I got my buttons fixed this time, so all my advanced animation things that I make overcomplicate so many things, but I should have it working this time. But thank you very much to Master X in the house for being my moderator for the winner. And I can tell you now, we do have another winner. We don't have a 7 out of 7. The best we've rustled up for us this week as the winner this week is who? Urban Harvesting does it again. 5 out of 7. Great job, Urban Harvesting. Great job. Nicely done. Thank you, Xavier, for getting the results in. So we also had Daily Survival had 5 out of 7, and we had Amphir as well was next with 5 out of 7. So well done to everybody with 5 out of 7. Urban Harvesting, he gets it though. The first one to get 5, the first one to get the highest number. He gets a great job of 5 out of 7. He'll be going onto the leaderboard. And over time, we'll be checking in on the leaderboard to see who did what when. And I'll have to make sure we keep them updated. Last week was Amphir. Well done for that. And then this week, we've got Urban Harvesting again. So you're doing really well, Urban. Well done. Nicely done. Let's hear it in the chat from my main man, Urban Harvesting. Nicely done, Carolyn Rose with 5 out of 7. And Daily Survival. I have very old yellow kerosene can, so I picked blue. Oh my darling, I know it's a tricky one that. Let's have a look. Digga. Siglai stop working at yeah, there you go. So thanks, Master X. Great show again. Thank you, Stream Focus. Cheers, going for another. Oh no, the Aussie did it again. Learn new stuff, says Animal Rescue. Oh, great news, great news. As long as someone's learned just one thing new, it's been worthwhile, right? And a bit of fun in the meantime. And great job as well. I'm really pleased that you played along. So well done, everybody. And thank you for everyone to make him feel Urban feel as special as he should be made to feel. So, should we crack on, get back to base camp then? Because we've got Prepper's Progress coming up straight after that. So let's get into it then. Nah, you ain't. Stop, Urban. Good on you, fellow Aussies. Yeah, Australia takes it away tonight. Well done, Urban Harvesting 5 out of 7. But we still haven't got to that magical 7 out of 7 yet, have we? We still haven't had a perfect win. There's still time. But we'll have to try that next time. Yes, indeed. Please hit the like button if you haven't done already, and please do subscribe if you're enjoying yourself tonight for the Sigma Prepper live show, the live show for preppers every Thursday night, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So let's have a look. You'll have to come here to stop me, Sandy. Like it. Bit of banter going on in the chat. So yeah, that was the Sigma Prepper quiz. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something from it. If you didn't win, then at least hopefully you learned something from it. So we've got a Prepper's Progress next. Then should we steam through it? What's the time looking like? Oh, we're so late tonight. What's been going on? It was a long old SHTF Intel report is what it was, wasn't it? There's Urban Harvesting. You'll have to come and stop me, Sandy. Thank you, Cynthia, my darling. Lovely to have you with us. I really appreciate everyone joining in. Should we get into the what do you call it then, shall we? And because we're going to be like more than 2 hours this show, aren't we? Let's have a little quick look. Let's have a quick. I do need to say another quick thank you to all of these fine people before we finish out the Preppers Progress, because I am 100% independent. I do have no sponsors or networks or paid adverts or anything like that. So it's just you, me, and that's it. So thank you so very much for those that are helping to keep me coming back every week. I couldn't do it without you. I've got no full-time job, no part-time job, no nothing. So it's this or nothing, people. Thank you so very much for helping. Links are in the description. Streamlabs.com/Sigma Preppers. They do super chats. Even though we're not monetized, you'll see it pop up there. PayPal traditional, but Patreon is a great way to help. And of course, you get loads of goodies back. You get free gifts like mugs, stickers, behind the scenes videos, and don't forget the after parties that everyone loves so much. On the tonight we've got an after party, V.I.P after party on Discord, so we can chat one-to-one voice with these fine people, and you can get yourself on this list. There's plenty of time, so do get yourself signed up from as little as 20 cents a day. Can you afford not to be part of the VIP crew? So thank you to my beautiful wolf pack. We're growing beautifully. Thank you so much. Couldn't do it without you, and let's keep it going. And yeah, what can I say? If you would like to help, links are in the description. Loads of ways you can help keep the show alive. And of course, if nothing else, just hit the like button and share it on your social media, and add your comments in the comment section below. And that's a great way to help as well. Thank you so very much for those that are. Let's get back to base camp. And here we are. So what have we got next then? Preppers Progress. So let's see what people have been progressing with their preps during the week. What they've been up to. And thanks again to Xavier for helping us out on that one. Really appreciate it, my man. And I'm not sure if that... I think that purpose is from last week, isn't it? I hope so. Well, I don't hope so, but I hope... As in, I hope I haven't missed anyone. I don't think I have, so I think we're all right. Okay, let's just catch up with the chat. Make sure everyone's okay. Just wondering if I have 80 litres just sat there. What you got 80 litres of? I hope you haven't got 80 litres of gasoline sitting there. Right, should we get into the Preppers Progress thing? Because I'm keen to see what we got from people this week for Preppers Progress. And yes, you can send in yours too. Yes, indeed. Cheers, everybody, even though I don't have any tea left. So, Preppers Progress. That's how we do on Sigma Prepper. We like to share your progress. We like to share our achievements with others to inspire other people to get themselves hooked up. Because it doesn't mean spending lots and lots of money. Sometimes it doesn't mean spending any money. Just getting your stuff organized is something that is showing your progress between, for getting yourself prepared. And it's nice to recognize people's efforts as well. And inspire other people to do the same. So thank you everybody who sent in your progress this week. The progress reports we've had through from Extreme Focus and Ghost Cowboy sent us some updates this week. So we had Amphir for last week. Still got your slideshow on here, who shared some of his cool tech, man. His night vision stuff and some of the cool scopes there. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And we also had a bit of video footage as well to go with that, which was nice last week to see the thermal and infrared vision and stuff like that, night vision. So thanks for sharing that, Amphir. And then Extreme Focus, he sent in an update. Now this is what I was saying. Do you remember we were talking earlier on with the survival rescue? The rescue, our animal rescue. So what I wanted to reference for you, because Extreme Focus sent in some updates this week to his prepping progress. Thank you so much, Extreme Focus. Our Ultra VIP as well. Couldn't do it without you, my man. But check it out. He's been getting into some juicing, right? And so he's been, learning lots about juicing techniques and things like this, which I think is a great thing to get into. I absolutely applaud you, Extreme Focus, because like I say, He's got himself set up with his archery. He went to a proper archery place as well to get some proper tuition. You can see he's got a Sigma Prepper Ultimate hotspot there with the Raspberry Pi hotspot for the offline emergency internet system as well. Absolutely top supporter. And so, yeah, we've got, now he's getting into juicing. So check it out. He's been buying himself a load of berries and stuff and getting it all juiced up. Nice and healthy. And then he's talking about this fruit and vegetable wash, because obviously with all the nasty stuff they put on vegetables and fruits at the moment, he seems to think that this fit organic stuff is a great way to wash your fruit and vegetables and get all the nasty stuff off it. So thanks for the heads up on that one. But the thing I was interested to show our animal rescue, if you're still here, I'm not sure if you were able to hang around after the prepper quiz. But this is what I was referring to. Do you remember earlier on in the show, you were talking about a way of boarding up your windows? Well, this is what Extreme Focus has come up with, and these are called ply locks. I think it's plylox.com. Ply locks. So these are the connectors, these little things here. You buy these and you get your plywood, or your marine plywood, I'd recommend, cut to the size of your window frame. And then these individual ply locks things that you use to secure them. So it means you can keep them in your garage or in a spare room, ready to go, pre-cut, pre-ready to burn. And then if something hits the fan, in this instance, it was things like bad wind, the Florida hurricane Ian, was it, that went through Florida? That was part of the reason why the preparations are made here. So this is a good idea. So I strongly recommend ply locks based on what our animal rescue was referring to earlier on in the show. This is what I wanted to make reference to. So thank you so very much, Extreme Focus, for sharing your preppers progress with us, and so lovely to see. You just so jealous as well of the fruit. Just that looks absolutely yummy. Look at them strawberries and raspberries and blackberries or whatever they are. Absolutely yummy. So clips can be removed during storage, says Extreme Focus, for those ply locks clips for the windows. But yeah, I hope you see what I'm talking about now, our animal rescue, in terms of, you know, what the options are out there for securing your windows. So, thank you very much to Ghost Cowboy in the house, another one of our VIPs. And don't forget, you don't have to be a VIP to be able to send in your progress. Anyone can send your progress into progress@sigmaprepper.com, progress@sigmaprepper.com, and you can share your progress with everybody. So I like what Ghost Cowboy's done here. So he did send me some notes with this. I'm just going to go on the fly from memory as I do, right? But what Ghost Cowboy was saying he decided to do here was to go with a collapsible laundry basket, which is perfect size. And he makes a great point that it would be quite usable for lots of different things. Obviously for storage, but also because he's a trucker as well. So it means he can store some stuff in his truck. But also he can carry water with it. So that's a great idea. It's a great usable device. So here's some of his preps this week. We've got a lice straw. Great to see. And he made a reference to, he's got his clotting spray. You know, blood clotting spray. That's that white and red can. There's clotting spray. We've got a camp percolator. Got a bit of cordage there as well going on, and some tape, duct tape. So, you know, do you see? This is as easy and simple as it needs to be, right? Lovely to see, Ghost Cowboy. And he's got himself just, again, 5 gal water cube. I love what it says on the side here as well, look. For camping, travel, zombie apocalypse, emergency preparedness, recycling, weekend sporting, ATVs. Yeah, I love that zombie apocalypse on the water cubes. Nicely done. Yeah, it's good. I like it. And check it out as well. This is really important. So many people forget gloves. Right, but he's bought himself a proper spanking pair of gloves. Check it out. Tougher than leather. Armor skin. So that looks interesting. I like the digital camo design as well, Ghost Cowboys. Exactly the same ones I would have bought. But they're nice. So definitely. You don't want to be getting any injuries on your hands. You know, don't forget, when shit hits the fan, you're going to be using tools you're not used to using. You're going to be banging nails into stuff you're not used to banging nails into. If you're not like me and if you're not a prototype and engineer, not used to doing stuff all the time, you know, you're going to get cut. I mean, when I do bushcraft camp every year something happens. I'll always do something. I'll cut myself, or if I'm doing some spoon carving, there's always an opportunity to cut yourself there. Anytime you're doing feather sticks, there's just, you know, graze, you knock your knuckle on something, get a gash in that, just have a bit of wood. All sorts of little things can happen, and it can really put you out of action. So definitely get yourself some decent gloves. You need to keep your feet and your hands uninjured as possible, because that can put you out of action. really badly. So nicely done, Ghost Cowboy. Thank you so much for sending in. Let's hear it for Ghost Cowboy in the chat. Thank you for sharing your progress. I'm really loving this collapsible laundry bucket. I think that's brilliant. Brilliant idea. And like you say, great for washing in, you know, for just collecting water in and everything. So I like it. Like it. Cordage, is that proper English? It is. You do call it cordage. Yeah. Ropage, but it is cordage. And then we've got Anset Girl with her Sigma Prepper filing cabinet with her Patreon support sticker that she got free. Well, it's not free because she's paying to support me, but you get sent it free, same as the mugs, the Sigma Prepper mugs and stuff. So thank you so much, Anset Girl, for sending in your progress as well. This is the one that was on there from before. Loads of toilet roll. Love it. I'm looking forward to catching up with you this week as well, Anset Girl. We're a bit behind. There's a few people I need to catch up with this week. Connie's one of them. Anset Girl's another one of them. I haven't caught up with Perps for about a week as well, so we're overdue. And then again, thank you, Daily Survival, for your support as well. There's Daily Survival's ultimate hotspot for the Sigma Prepper hotspot, using a Raspberry Pi with access to, well, 256 gigabyte of survival information, basically. So thank you so very much for sending in your preparedness progress. I really appreciate it, and it's so important to be able to offer this way to inspire other people to get themselves a few bits and pieces sorted out, whether that's just doing a bit of DIY in the garden and showing your progress on it, or whether that's getting, you know, some great investment, some quad bike or something like Leslie laughs me a few weeks ago. So keep sending it in. Don't forget, progress@sigmaprepper.com is a great way for you to share your progress. And if you want it to be anonymous, it can be, but it's fine. If you don't want any identifying features in your photos, just up to you how you send them to me. But I won't be sharing your email address with anybody else, so don't worry about that. And you don't have to be a Patreon VIP to send in your progress. I'd love to share it with other people, and let's try and help inspire others to get themselves hooked up. So thank you so much for those who sent in their progress this week. We had new updates from Extreme Focus and Ghost Cowboys. Thank you so much to you two for sending in your preps this week. Much appreciated. Let's get back to base camp. Oh. Oh, here we go. We're piling through. We're piling through. How long we've been going? 2 hours exactly. So that's not too severe. And RAF flight gloves are best for weapons handling, is what Amphi is saying. Nice to know. Flight gloves. RAF flight gloves. Freeze berries separately on a tray, then vacuum seal them with a food saver. Liking it, liking it. You should. Have you put anything on the Discord server, Extreme Focus? Because we need to start getting these sections built out, don't we? There's a whole section on there for food storage and stuff. I'm guessing that would be the section for you, wouldn't it? Yeah. And you'll see we've got because we had Netrum Design who sent in a great Prepper's Progress, who sent in his freeze drying efforts. So that was cool to see. So brilliant job there from Netrum Design. Thank you for sending in your progress. Daily Survival shared some food storage ideas and like cupboards and things. But yeah, get yourself over on that one as well, Extreme Focus, because that would be a great place to share your what you've been up to with your fruit and stuff. Do you know that I had a meme set up for us for the news for the SHTF Intel, and I never got around to showing it. Shall I show it now? Here we go. I just thought it's kind of relevant for those that have been following the UK politics, with Liz Truss being the shortest serving British Prime Minister in the history. 44 days or whatever it is. 44 is the kill number, if I'm not mistaken, in Gematria. Anyway. Perfect for short stays. Number 10 Downing Street, Airbnb. Perfect for short stays. Look at them. Anyway, I forgot to show that earlier on. I thought I'd get that out of the way now. But do get yourself over to the Discord server. Do sign up for free. It's completely open to everybody. And yes, urban harvesting. Good luck for you tomorrow, my man, because he's got a wedding for his son tomorrow. So we hope that goes brilliantly for you. That's Saturday for Australia. That's tomorrow. For everybody else, Saturday is couple of days away yet, right? But well done to Urban Harvesting. Congratulations to your son. Let's hear it in the chat for Urban Harvesting, who's going to his son's wedding. How cool is that? And so yeah, and it's great to catch up with you today, Urban, on the phone. Again, one of our VIP super duper masters. And great show, says Daily Survival. Thank you, my darling. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Great meme. Maybe I'll throw one meme in per week in the SHTF Intel. Let me know in the chat whether you think that's a good idea. Just one meme of my choice for the SHTF Intel report each week, right? Oh dear, lovely to have RR Animal Rescue with us tonight. Love the show, love you being here, so thank you for joining us. I do hope to see you again next week, and on the other shows. Don't forget, tomorrow night, RR Animal Rescue, we should be having our show, which is super duper. And if you haven't seen the off-grid power one, I would strongly recommend checking that one out, because yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff in that one. So don't forget, during the week, don't miss any of the videos. Do support the channel to help us grow to monetization. We're about 20 to 30% of the way there so far. Sorry, 25 to 30% of the way to monetization on YouTube. So please help by sharing the videos on your social media. Look out for the next week's tactical analysis report. I keep saying that. Global analysis report from our tactical intelligence assistant. There you go. That comes out usually on a Monday or a Tuesday. That'll be week 43, so look out for that. And then, of course, during the week, I'll often do the old SHTF Intel sort of live, depending on what's happening. And then, again, tomorrow night, Friday, my intention is to get the SHTF Survival Scenario Show back up and running. Instead of Wednesdays, it's going to be Fridays. I'll hope to get it done tomorrow night. We'll see if I get time to put the show together. But it's going to be about security and protection. Yeah? In a homestead scenario. It's going to be pretty in-depth, so don't miss that one. And of course, if you haven't seen this one, the grid down scenario, link is in the description. Definitely watch that next. Or else. And of course, outside of that, you've got the Sigma Prepper live show on Thursdays, as you're watching right now. So do join us. We've been through the Preppers Progress. We get next is the VIP after party. Looking forward to that. And again, you can sign up on Patreon for as little as 20 cents a day. 20 cents a day. That's right. So do it, or else. Do it for good luck. For me and you. So do that then. So don't forget, Thursdays, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time is when we go live. So it'd be great to have you with us next week. Yeah, if you're watching this after, thank you for sharing it. Thank you for watching it till the end to help with the watch time and everything as well. So I really appreciate it. Do make sure you hit the like button on the way out. It'd be a shame for you to forget to do that. Thank you everyone for being with us. Please do. So hopefully we'll catch up with some peeps in the after party. And have a great time, Urban Harvesting. Love you, my man. And I hope it all goes well. I hope your speech comes out nice for your son's wedding on Saturday. And I'll be catching you on the other side. Posted some more pumpkin pics, says Perps. Well, we'll be having a special Halloween Sigma special coming up, obviously, towards Halloween. So look out for that as well. We've got loads going on. So I think what we'll do is, let's jump into the after party then. If you're a VIP, do join us. If you're not a VIP, plenty of time to get signed up on Patreon. But in the meantime, from myself, what can I say? I've had a fabulous time. I hope you've had a fabulous time too. But do join us next time. I do hope you will. I have been Andy. This has been the Sigma Prepper Live Show. Love, peace and progress to the pack.